So this talk, which will last around 45 minutes, 45 to 50 minutes, is around 3D scene understanding. What do we mean by 3D scene understanding? This is a set of techniques that are very well anchored around perception. You know, that are their aim is to extract information around the scene that surrounds us and its elements, such as, for example, objects and components. This is not related to just reconstructing the environment and understanding the position of the observer with respect to it, but also extracting semantic parts, such as, for example, its structural parts and components. This is one of the first experiments we did with a full pipeline around one of the concepts of semantic scene understanding, which is running everything on mobile. This is a Tango phone. And you can see that we can incrementally build up the geometry of the room while we extract also different components that are colored with different colors in this scene, everything running on this device. Now, a few years later, we can see that there's many applications that are relevant for scene understanding. One is, of course, robotics, because we're looking into personal robots in our home environments, trying to help us out with different tasks. There's augmented reality, of course, that also leverages SLAM and scene understanding in order to augment properly components of the scene with augmented items and objects. And then there's autonomous driving. Of course, autonomous driving is more related to outdoor scene understanding, so a bit outside the scope of this talk, but just to say that most of the techniques that are being developed for indoor applications are the same that are going to be applied outdoor, and same for the challenges that needs to be tackled with deep learning and perception techniques. And finally, there's also, I wanted to mention, among others, let's say also the interior design architecture. There's actually several companies and also startups that are looking, for example, in ways to bridge the gap between the computer vision community and applications in the field of interior design architecture, for example, by being able to recreate immersive environments, being able to, for example, refurnish virtually an environment like your house with new pieces of furniture, or just measuring and reconstructing an environment on the fly with a smartphone. So to summarize, you can see it at the bottom of the slide, some of the main attributes of semantics in understanding. Well, of course, it's semantics, so we really want to understand not just the geometry of the environment, but the components. It has to be mobile, so most of the applications needs to be running on mobile devices or mobile robots, and be very also real-time and efficient. They need to be abstract. What do I mean by abstract? So we need to be able to extract representation